Prime Minister Olmert, welcome to the program.
Hello.
Let's get down to what's happening in the West Bank because, you know, we know, and I'll get to you on Gaza, but there is this huge new military operation. The Israeli government said that they were, you know, really having an anti-terrorist operation there. There is film that has been released today, and it's on Israeli media, and the IDF says it's investigating what it purports to show. And that is basically Israeli troops appear to be shown shooting, executing 2 wanted Palestinians in the city of Jenin. Do you know anything about that? And what do you make of the Israeli crackdown now in the occupied West Bank?
Well, I'm not familiar with this specific story about Jenin, and I think it has to be checked, and I hope it will be checked and examined in a proper manner by the Israeli army, and that if it will be verified, then I hope that the necessary measures will be taken, and those responsible for it will be court-martialed. It's certainly something that needs to be examined carefully. As for the crackdown, there certainly is some terror coming occasionally in the West Bank, and it has to be taken care of in the most effective manner. And I hope that the Israeli authorities are doing what needs to be done in order to prevent the terror of Palestinians. I'm not certain that they are doing the same in order to prevent a Jewish terror, which is perpetrated on a daily basis by Israeli settlers in the West Bank. And this is something which become massive and ugly and outrageous and totally unacceptable, intolerable, and unforgivable. On a daily basis, there are settlers that are cracking down non-involved people, innocent Palestinians. Worst, they are burning their homes and threatening their lives and burning their olive groves, which in my mind shows that these guys have no really any attitude, any real genuine attitude towards the land and what grows on the land. Those who can burn the olive groves of Palestinians can burn everything. And unfortunately, it is done with the tacit cooperation and non-involvement of the Israeli police and a gross indifference by the Israeli military in the area. And this is time to stop it. And I'm afraid that the day will come that Israel will be brought to the International Court, Criminal Court in The Hague, not because of Gaza, where there is no genocide and there was no genocide in my judgment, but what is taking place in the West Bank, an area entirely under the control of the State of Israel, and where there are atrocities committed every day by Jews, which is shameful and unbearable and, as I said, unforgivable.
You know, Prime Minister, this is incredibly strong stuff to hear from an Israeli, from a Jew, from the former Prime Minister about the status of your armed forces, as you say, the tacit approval of the government and the like. You say it has to be stopped immediately. I'm going to read this to you because the police minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, who's known to be very far right, the national security minister, has posted in regards to the original video I told you about. He's posted on X in Hebrew, quote, giving full backing to the border guard fighters and IDF soldiers who fired at wanted terrorists who emerged from a building in Jenin. The fighters acted exactly as expected of them. Terrorists must die. So just what is your response to that? Because, you know, I mean, the state is backing this, and obviously this is still under investigation, and we can't make a conclusion. But the IDF says that it's investigating it, and you say these kinds of things must stop. But when a minister posts this and gives full backing, what does that tell you about the general lay of the land?
This Minister of National Security, as you know very well, I'm sure, Christine, was convicted in court several times of being involved in terror, Jewish terror against Palestinians. So he's the last person on earth that can testify or can observe the atrocities that are committed by Jews in the territories. Now, I'm not, as I said before, I'm not familiar with the specifics of this event, and I don't know what happened, and I hope that the suspicions are not valid and that there was nothing that is said has actually taken place. But I know of other events which are taking place in other parts of the West Bank on a daily basis. Yeah. And every time the hilltop youth are attacking and burning and penetrating into the private homes of individuals that are not involved in anything and call for the killing of them, there is not any reaction by the Israeli police, the police of Mr. Ben-Gvir, the national Minister of National Security, and is not taken, the measures are not taken by the army, and it happens, and it's shameful. And yes, as a Jew, as an Israeli, and as a Jew, and as a former Prime Minister, and I know that what I say is something that many Israelis don't like to hear, and they criticize me, and they yell at me sometimes when they see me, because they said, why do you say that? And I said, I'd rather speak up in the most explicit manner in order so that everyone in the world, everyone that watch us now and everyone that will watch you another time will know that there are millions of Israelis which are unhappy with this, which are against this, which are against this government where people like Ben-Gvir can be ministers of national security perpetrating or supporting the perpetration of things which are totally unacceptable and unbearable, and will speak up so that it will stop.
So why do you think this is going on? What is the intention, the mission of this Israeli government? Why doesn't it stop it? And also, okay, I'll ask you that question first.
Well, I'm not, I have to say, I wouldn't accuse Prime Minister Netanyahu for wanting that this will happen. I accuse him for not taking the necessary measures to stop it, knowing that it happens. Because those who are responsible for it and those who are acquiescent with it, and the ministers of Ben-Gvir and Smotrich and their supporters in the Messianic groups in the Israeli government, I know what they want. They hope that we will be able to somehow force out the Palestinians from the West Bank and force the Palestinians out from Gaza and take over these territories and integrate them into the state of Israel and prepare them for resettlements of Israelis and Jews all over. This is totally unacceptable. The majority of the Israeli people are against it, and we are fighting day and night in the streets of Israel, rioting and demonstrating against the Israeli government for supporting or for ignoring or for overlooking these events and entirely not taking into consideration the massive downfall of the status of the State of Israel and the perception of the State of Israel as a humanistic country against everything that we were perceived to be in the past.